and welcome to my presentation on Maya Angelou, the actress, poet, memoirist, activist, and professor. Hope you enjoy. How was Maya Angelou a product of a specific society? According to the editors of Encyclopedia Britannica, Maya Angelou, born Marguerite Annie Johnson at the very young age of 3, was sent away by her parents, Bailey and Vivian Baxter Johnson, alongside her brother Bailey Jr. Johnson, to live with their paternal grandparents who owned a family shop in a rural town named Stamps, Arkansas. They had been sent away because their parents had a fallout resulting in a divorce. According to Laura Bowman at Valparaiso University, Angelou grew up in a segregated town where the black people were separated from the white, who did not receive the same opportunities or resources as white people. Though Maya did not let this insular, divided, and confined community depict her. Instead, she used the society as a motivation to become an activist. How did Maya Angelou become a writer? According to Mary Jane Lupton at Gale Literature, throughout school growing up, Angelou's teachers would make them recite and memorize various poems by Shakespeare, Emily Dickinson, and Edna St. Vincent Millay. Through these practices, Angelou developed a passion for reading, intrigued by the words of Edgar Allan Poe. Although Angelou's grandparents wouldn't approve of reciting these poems and threatened to take away both her and Bailey's books, encouraging Maya to recreate her own poems and embrace the beautiful art of literature. According to an unknown author at Hilbert College, Angelou developed her stage name Maya Angelou when she was a dancer, but Bailey, her beloved brother, gave her the nickname Maya when she was younger. In the 1950s, after creating various poems and songs, Angelou's career skyrocketed, moving to New York where she truly found a love for literature within the Harlem Writers Guild. Trauma/life-changing experiences. According to Kim Gaines at Howard University, Angelou had been raped at the fresh age of 8 by her mother's boyfriend, which left her mute for the next 5 years of her life. She had never spoken another word over the years because she believed in her young mind that since she told her brother Bailey who did this to her, the word got round to her uncles who beat this man to death. Maya said herself, "I thought my voice killed him. I killed that man because I told his name." Though poetry was able to break down the walls Maya once had up, as her teacher Miss Flowers once told her, the best poetry is supposed to be read aloud in your own words, which she did. What makes Maya Angelou distinctive? According to Cheryl A. Wall at Gale Literature, Maya is one of the first black writers to ever be so explicit when writing an autobiography, and wasn't afraid to make the protagonist in her books a black character, as that was rarely seen in the 1900s. In Angelou's book, Me, Mom, and Me, she talks about the years when her mom was absent, believing she was even dead until reuniting with her in San Francisco at the age 13. Major themes in her work include the victory of overcoming tough challenges, the search of identity, and the value of literacy and learning. Maya's signature touch is the ability to write poetry and song lyrics in a novel so seamlessly. Why is Maya Angelou a famous household name? According to Cheryl A. Wall at Gale Literature, before Angelou became a household name, she worked many jobs like a waitress, cook, singer, actor, and dancer to provide for herself and only son Guy Johnson, who she had at the young age of 16. Angelou even toured all of Europe with a theatrical group called Porgy and Bess. Although Angelou first received great critical acclaim for the book she wrote, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, which received a National Book Award nomination for her amazing writer's touch and ability to convey her own downhearted events into positive ones. Angelou is also known for being a major leader as an activist in the civil rights movement, working alongside Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. What differences has Maya Angelou made in the world and art of literature? Angelou inspired and motivated millions of people around the world with the ability to emotionally connect with the reader, using the events in her own life as a call to action for strength and change. Angelou used her words to represent justice for the African American race, forming a society built on equity, equality, self-love, and the need for peace within the world. In 1993, Angelou was even called to read her poem On the Pulse of the Morning for the presidential inauguration of Bill Clinton. Angelou has also defeated many racial boundaries by determination and a heart full of courage, like being the first African American woman to ever be hired as a fare collector in San Francisco, followed by a list of many more. Poetry. Love. According to Cheryl A. Wall at Gale Literature, love was always shadowed away in African American writings, only wrote in a dangerous manner, though Angelou found delight in love. This three-stanza poem, Touched by an Angel, describes love to be a very sacred and precious thing to life, written as a thing of liberation. Angelou signifies that love makes us challenge ourselves to do things we wouldn't normally do, but since you're in love, you're open to try new things and face your biggest fears. Ambition. Angelou indeed nothing but a phenomenal woman, though this poem isn't referencing her as the I, or a specific race, but just a woman in general. Angelou uses the literary device of repetition to provide emphasis on the term phenomenal woman, and she also uses repetition to describe the attributes of a woman seen throughout this poem. Example, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips. This poem is interpreted to mean that the pretty women are amazed of this phenomenal woman, in which they can't believe how self-confident she is, and seek of her secret. Civil rights. The deeper meaning behind the caged bird is that Maya Angelou is referencing a captivated bird who is singing to be let free, just like the African American enslaved descendants who longed for freedom. Angelou expresses a tone of passion, sympathy, and courage for this caged bird who is seeking to break its bars of rage and has the hope to one day experience the unknown joy that the free bird has, ultimately setting a mood of sorrow for the caged bird, but hope that the caged bird will break free at last. Special acclaim and honorary awards. Angelou has received many awards over the span of her career. According to Cheryl A. Walt at Gale Literature and the editors of Britannica, she's received a Tony Award nomination in 1973 for her performance in the Broadway play Look Away. She was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by former President Barack Obama, which is one of the highest honors a citizen can receive in the USA. She's received the Ford's Theater Lincoln Medal and was the first African American to ever write a film named Georgia, Georgia, which then went on to receive a Pulitzer Prize nomination and an Emmy Award nomination. If you're always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. Maya Angelou. I hope you got a brighter look into the fascinating and majestic life of Maya Angelou. Thank you for reading, or in this context, listening. What have you learned from Maya? Bye.